expect positive outcomes instead. Now, personal effectiveness is not just saying, how many times have you heard this? I am a positive thinker. You know, this is so many times being said, but they prove to be a warrior. They prove to be a chronic anxiety, or they compulsively are very anxious of things. So they are not at all a positive thinker. Sometimes you also hear this, I am a positive person, a typical utterance, but who would easily think and speak ill of other people. Come across that kind? You often hear and encounter such kinds of behaviors almost every now and then in the workplace. It is also not being hurt easily or judging people hastily when they behave differently from what we expect, especially from the newcomers. Whenever we come across newcomers in the office and we do not see them behave the way we expect them to do. Last but not least, it's not just saying or not being the person that you dislike or being so toxic. You know, you say the terminology of toxic is very common. It's something that we normally say, especially in the hospitals or in clinics. People who are mega negative, too close for comfort, too abrasive for friendship. You know, some people would like to be friends with you, but you know, it just doesn't fit, or it just doesn't figure that this person to be with you, or you with that person. Or people who are too timid and too uncommunicative to get acquainted with. This is not personal effectiveness. Personal effectiveness is something like I've seen in this particular movie, the classic, The Sound of Music, wherein they bring light into one's presence, just like this.
Sun roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Why don't I feel better?
Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver
Right,
winters
Rich,
that
back.
melt into spring.
Back.
My favorite things, when the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad.
When they come inside a room, they just lighten up the room. And that is one kind of manifestation of personal effectiveness. And sometimes also the speech that we do, we enlighten other people. Just like this one.
I got we got a problem here, Herb. What's that? I got a room full of people up there who want to have a say in this process, and you've already picked a team.
Look, Walter.
No. There's a right way to do this kind of thing, and this is not it.
And I know you got a job to do, and if I was in your shoes, I'd probably be saying the same thing.
All right, then. Let's go upstairs. We'll help piece together a hockey team. All of us, together.
Walter, that's just not going to happen.
Do you realize what the AHA went through to put this thing together? The best amateur players in the country on the ice for a week, not just a day.
And I didn't ask for that because I already know my team.
How do you know your team? Those kids haven't been on the ice for what, maybe a couple of hours.
Walter, every one of those boys was chosen for a specific reason. I've studied film on each and every one of those boys. I've seen them, I've watched them, and I've coached a lot of them. And the ones I haven't, I've spoken with their coaches and scouts in the area. Now, I know best what I need to compete. And the team I've chosen is it.
What am I supposed to say to the advisory board, the committee?
Tell them the truth.
This puts me in a hell of a spot, Herb. Hell of a spot.
Well, they hired me to do a job. I'm trying to do it.
All right. I'm going to back you on this. But I sure as hell hope you know what you're doing.
We get into some conflict. Sometimes we disagree with one another. In the office, in meetings, we have different views. But we don't really have to, remain or end the meetings or the conversations with all those disagreements. But through the power of speech, we can actually reach certain agreements and make people agree with us, and again, influence the outcomes of situations or discussions. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is that personal effectiveness also makes people awe by the good example that we show, especially in this particular scene from Coach Carlo.
Sir, they can cut the chain off the door, but they can't make us play.
We've decided we're gonna finish what you started, sir.
Yeah, so leave us be, Coach. We got shit to do, sir.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Sir, I just want to say thank you. You saved my life.
People in our lives who serve as our heroes because they are able to inspire us to overcome our own fears, to overcome our own ordeals or our own emotional turmoils. They help us achieve clarity in our lives and be able to find our own directions. So that is, again, one of the ways of personal effectiveness. Now, the question now is that, isn't it that these are the kind of people you would love to genuinely be with? Is that a yes or a no? Yes, you would like to have that people with you? Certainly, yes. That's a good answer. Now, do you have many persons like them in your life right now? You have. That's very good. Now, do you want to have more people around you to show more personal effectiveness? How about that? Okay? Now, what we need to do is simply this. You gotta be one with personal effectiveness. Do you agree? We gotta have one. We got to be one. And how? There's just some ways that we could understand it, right? Like basing it from or sharing something from a book that I entitled 8 Streams of Confluent Learning to Personal Effectiveness. And I will present to you the principles and techniques that can make you achieve and enjoy the astounding effects of having self-confidence, social competence, and emotional competence, all for enhancing the quality of life, be it personal or professional. Generally speaking, it is characterized by being happy with yourself and your significant others, the people that surrounds you in your life, feeling happy being with you. Siyempre, hindi lang naman dapat ikaw ang happy. Dapat sila rin happy na kasama ka. Something like this. There are many basic things in life, like numbers. When you put all the numbers from 0 to 9 or 1 to 10, you can come up with countless permutations. Or primary colors that when you put them together, they give us infinite payload of colors. Or the 7 musical notes, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, giving us those limitless melodies that we have heard. Now, let me take your imagination a little bit further. For example, imagine this, take a look at this stream flowing from one side of the mountain, and another stream is flowing on the other side. And many other streams are flowing just the same, and all these streams will meet at a common point, and at that common point, they will become a bigger body of water, which we basically call a river. One river meets another river, and then at a common point again, they will become bigger and stronger, like an ocean, more powerful.